delicious food and cold beverages. Stop on in Mondays for some mayhem with us and Shepherd quarterback Tyson Bagent, or on Tuesday for some gourmet tacos. Wednesdays is whiskey and trivia night. Thursday is steak night. Fridays are dinner specials. Saturdays there's live music. And Sunday morning is brunch. We're open every day from 11 a.m. to 3 a.m. Call us at 304-260-4002 for takeout or stop on in to the Neon Moon Tavern.
At their TV or something if they were watching. But before we end the show, I just want to shout out Cullen Horowitz. He's playing UNC, but for Colin, Nick, I'm Spencer saying so long. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
Ever try to collect on an insurance claim? Perhaps a homeowner's claim, auto accident, or fire. Insurance companies collect money from you for protection should something bad happen. And when it does, they don't want to pay, or they offer too little. At Mansion Ferretti, we have an attorney who worked defending insurance companies and knows all the dirty tricks they play to deny or lowball your claim. Call us today for help in getting what you really deserve. Mansion Ferretti, when you need justice.
Hi, this is Lauren from Orsini's right here in Martinsburg. Grilling is not just for the boys. We are a Platinum Traeger dealer carrying the Pro Series all the way up to the Timberline Series. We have every flavor of wood pellets along with accessories, rubs, sauces. Not just Traeger, we carry Utz, Meat Church, Lanes, and Dizzy Pig. We also carry a full line of Yeti products. Orsini's has everything to complete your backyard. Visit us at 360 Hack Wilson Way or at Orsinis.com.
Live from the Neon Moon in Martinsburg, it's time for Monday Night Mayhem on Talk Radio WRNR and TV10.
That took place, and we'll start with the local teams and the team that we have an affiliation with, the Washington Commanders, who absolutely got dominated, unfortunately, and I'll let you rant about that here in a little bit, Spencer. It was a final score of 24-8, but yeah, where was the offense, and also where was the defense been all season long?
We know where the defense is non-existent, but the offense shows some spurts every now and then, but you know, it's just like Detroit. Just like last week, it didn't seem like they could get anything going offensively. And literally nothing going offensively. I mean, I don't know who needs to be the spark to this team, but it's just pathetic, the performance they put out there on Sunday.
Yeah, Carson Wentz, 25 of 43, 211 yards, no touchdowns, and no interceptions. The one touchdown in the 24-8 loss came off a 1-yard Antonio Gibson run, and then a safety was on that as well in garbage time for both of those. And it was just Philly all around, even though it was in Washington, able to dominate the game and dominate the amount of fans in the stands as well. And it really makes you question the fact that is the culture actually pretty good in Washington?
I will tell you, not what Bruce Allen said a few years ago.
So
damn good.
You're saying no, it's not good.
Damn good.
It's not good in Washington?
Not good.
I agree. I mean, we're two Washington fans.
Sell the team, maybe things will change. Nothing's going to get better until Dan Snyder says, you know what, I'm the biggest fan of this team. How about I sell the team to make it better?
Well, let's start with it being Philadelphia. I mean, we know Philadelphia fans travel, so that's not the issue. The issue
No,
is
I think they play at
getting
Lincoln
your
Financial
fans.
Field. They played at Lincoln Financial Field.
How do you attract fans, though?
South.
Winning.
Yeah.
This team doesn't win, it seems like. I mean, they won week 1. It was a close one. You were able to come back, but since that game against the Jaguars have been the team that's been way better after that week 1 loss than Washington has with the week 1 win.
Yeah, like I said on our 12 to 1 daily show, the Sports Mix, which you can tune into right here, Talk Radio WR on our TV10, the TV10 Facebook page. I'm not going to a game unless I get sweet tickets. That's the only time I'm ever going to do anything and go buy. Like, I'm not buying. I'm not helping Dan Snyder make money.
Chances of that happening are probably less than the offense or defense showing up, it seems like, for Washington lately. But, I mean, Philadelphia's 3-0, one of the 3 remaining undefeated teams left. We'll talk a little bit later about the Dolphins and obviously the Giants as they play the Cowboys tonight, and we'll have that game on Talk Radio WR and R 106.5 FM, 7:40 a.m. with kickoff at 1:15 between
8:15.
8:15. Thank you.
You
had 1:15 because you mentioned the Sportsman at 1 or from 12 to noon. That's why I got a little
12
bit.
12 to noon? Are you good?
12 to 1. I don't know.
I think you've had too much to drink, sir.
I think you also had too much to drink. But let's get into it. Steelers, 29-17 loss on Thursday to the Browns, and just like Washington, where's Pittsburgh's offense been?
I don't know, man. I think it comes a point where you just say, let's throw in Kenny Pickett. Let's see what he can do. I mean, all the fans up there want it.
I know they want it.
He starred for Pitt,
but it's
for
only
the
been
Panthers.
3 weeks. I still think Mitch Trubisky, you got to trust in and give it a couple more weeks. And
I mean, if
you fall,
there's a nickname for Mitch Trubisky, not necessarily appropriate for the airwaves. I mean, it could be, but I'm not going to use it. That's what a lot of people call him, and I think that's what he's living up to at the moment.
I mean, he's a good quarterback. It's just the fact that the entire team as a whole has been unable, to put any points up. I mean, the week before, the loss against the Patriots by a field goal, and now this week again, only putting up, it was, 17 points, 14 points the week before. So you really got to be able to get things going. But I know you're pulling up Mitch Trubisky's stats so far for the entire season. So once you get to that, I'll let you go with your point that you're trying to make.
He's had 569 yards through 3 games. He's topped 100 yards once, or 200 yards once. I don't know when the point comes to be where you go to Kenny Pickett, but it's got to be soon.
All right, just for fun, I'm going to pose a question to you.
I guess he's 2 to 1 in touchdown-interception ratio, but he's only thrown 2 touchdowns and he's thrown 1 interception.
Just to bring up some mayhem, looking at last week's stats, Trubisky going 20 of 32, 207 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. So I want to ask you, Spencer, since we're a Washington affiliate and partially a Pittsburgh Steelers affiliate, who would you rather have, since you're a Washington fan, be the quarterback for the Commanders?
Sam
Wentz or Trubisky?
Sam Howell.
Nope. Between those two, Wentz, Trubisky.
Neither.
You have to pick one.
I guess Carson Wentz, because he's going to pile up the yards and touchdowns for you, but also the interceptions.
That is true as well. But, I mean, Trubisky, the first win, it's the same record now between Pittsburgh and Washington, both teams at 1-2.
Look at this: 7 touchdowns of 3 interceptions, 861 total yards. Like last game was he had 2 300-yard games in a row, and then he had a 211-yard game last week. I don't know. They're both not great quarterbacks. Let's just leave it at that.
I mean, they're average quarterbacks. It's just you can't always rely on them. So I wouldn't say fully that they're bad. I don't know if that's the route that you're trying to go, because they can be reliable.
I just think that they don't have I just think, what did Dan Snyder say a couple weeks ago when he was trying to get the Maryland lottery to go build some sports book at FedEx Field? We've got ourselves a quarterback. Anything that comes out of his mouth is obviously not factual.
Yeah, it seems like that's been the case so far for Dan Snyder. But let's now segue into a local team that did get the win yesterday, and that is the
regional team.
Baltimore Ravens. It's still a local team. It's only an hour and a half away from here in Baltimore, but a big win against New England by a final score of 37-26, and a guy that I know a lot of Raven fans are high on continuously and still waiting to be paid is Lamar Jackson. And seen a stat, I think he has more touchdowns than, I believe, 12 NFL teams so far, and that includes both, I believe, the Steelers and the Commanders, two teams that we just mentioned. And so far, Lamar Jackson is definitely putting up stats to put himself in contention early on to be the NFL MVP. And I know it's still a long shot, most likely, Spencer, but if he continues to play the way that he has, at what point do you think he becomes the favorite?
I don't know, but pay the man.
I agree.
Dude is showing he deserves to be paid. That's the thing.
I mean, even though a lot of people jokingly say Lamar's a running back, he's been able to really sling the ball around.
Well, they've needed him to be the running back because they haven't had they've got a lot of guys injured, and one guy returned last week. But I think.
But I mean, 4 touchdown passes last week for Lamar when he went 18 of 29, 218 yards for Jackson in the win against New England. And let's look up his entire season stats. He is first in touchdown passes with 10. And then his quarterback rating for the entire season, 78.4. That's second in the NFL. Yards-wise, he's 17th, but that doesn't always matter. What matters is getting into the end zone, obviously. Yeah. Being able to win games. And right now, Baltimore's 2-1. And Lamar's been able to really lead this team.
They could be 3-0 if it wasn't for the secondary last week.
That is very true, and it's in a division that has really struggled so far this season, it seems like, and it's really a wide-open division, even though you got the defending AFC champions and the Bengals, the Steelers, who it seems like no matter who they have, they've actually been able to provide winning seasons, even though maybe not this year for a first time in a long time, and then the Browns, and as people like to say, the Browns are the Browns.
The Browns are the Browns. Everybody's the everybody's, I guess. I mean, I just think Lamar Jackson is a great caliber quarterback. And, you looking at his numbers, he's got, 10 touchdowns and 2 interceptions so far this season, I believe. And you score 38 points in a game, you should be able to win. And they fell 42-38 last week. It was the secondary that really did it in for him. But he's averaging probably around 250 yards per game passing-wise, and except for week 1 he had 17 yards on the ground, but he's had 200 back-to-back 100-yard games rushing. So I think, and then you add 2 touchdowns to that to make it 12 total touchdowns for him. I mean, if he can keep this up, be very good.
I think he could be MVP if he keeps it up.
I mean, if he keeps
really
it up, we're 3 games in the season already?
Yes.
And you got 17 games. If he gets 10, 1.
I was about to say, you mentioned earlier you're bad at math, so I'm kind of getting worried right now with you trying to do some math right now, Spencer.
Just say he has a chance to throw 50 touchdowns this year.
50 touchdowns. That's for sure MVP if he gets to that, because that's like Peyton Manning numbers.
Yeah.
So we'll have to wait and see. But, I mean, some Week 3 surprises. Speaking of a team that Peyton Manning used to be on, the Colts. They got a huge upset over the Chiefs this week, 20-17, and they're 1-1-1. It seemed like it was going to be an easy win for the Chiefs, but you never know. Any given team can win any given week, it seems like, in the NFL, and that was the case for Jacksonville as well. And I mentioned they've been the better team, it seems like, after the Week 1 loss to Washington. They went on the road against the Chargers, were able to absolutely dominate the Chargers, who it seems like could be a heavy favorite in the AFC preseason. It was 38-10.
Herbert was not going to have a good game with that rib cartilage injury. I just don't think it was a good match. I think they should have kept him out of the game personally. So I think the Jags would have won anyway. But you look at the 3 kind of surprises, and I really think a team that you shouldn't say it was a surprise win, but it really was a surprise win, is the Dolphins. They're undefeated right now. When it comes to, they were 2-0 against the Bills, who were 2-0 as well. I just think this Dolphins team, I said it last week on the Sports Mix, that, Tua looks legit with those two receivers and Waddle and Hill. Tyreek Hill being out there on the side. I think they're the first guys to have at least 300 yards in the first 3 games in a long time.
It'll be interesting to see how they do on a short week as they play Thursday night against the Cincinnati Bengals, a team that surprisingly just this past week, even though it's still technically week 3, got its first win of the season against the Jets. I still think Cincinnati's legit and they'll be able to bounce back and be a playoff contender. But, I mean, going up against the Dolphins on a Thursday night, it's definitely going to be a very difficult challenge for Cincinnati. I like their chances. I think Burrow's still a better quarterback than Tua, and I actually think, even though I don't want to really get into this discussion because it'll lead us down a path that we don't have time for, Tua definitely had a concussion in that game and should have 100% not came back.
I don't know.
You check that tape after that hit, him stumbling, there was definitely something wrong.
Back injury.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Clear as day,
Somebody does not collapse back because of a back. That was a head injury.
No.
You see those signs for concussions, man.
I don't necessarily agree with you on that, Colin. One thing I got to say is I'm typically a guy to watch my own team, and that's it. And, it got to the point where I didn't want to watch my team anymore this last weekend, being the Commanders. Growing up, one town over from Ashburn, Virginia, seeing, all the players at the grocery store, seeing, wherever I was, I'd spot a player from, Chris Cooley, Santana Moss, Reed Dowdy, just to name, London Fletcher. But I was watching NFL Red Zone, and I haven't seen Red Zone in a long time, a very long time. It was a free preview day throughout the Red Zone, and that's the best thing. That's the best thing that the NFL ever did, I think.
Oh, I completely agree. But before we take our first break,
the witching hour, watching all these games, the quad box, I may have to go out with my little, money that I have in the budget just to spend on stuff. I might have to go buy Red Zone just to watch every week.
I wouldn't blame you. It was definitely a fun time getting to watch Red Zone because that was the only way I was able to tune in to the Commanders, even though I didn't tune in much because I was at a baseball game and Commanders were getting their butts whooped anyway. But
well, you know who lost that baseball game?
That is true as well. Baltimore lost. But let's take a break, and on the other side of that break, we will preview tonight's Monday night match between Dallas and New York. And it's Monday Night Mayhem live from the Neon Moon Tavern as we're about 2 hours away from kickoff. Stop on in, get a bite to eat, and enjoy the show with us and say hello, as we'll be later joined by head coach Ernie McCook as well as
about 14 minutes.
Tyson Bagent, Travis Bagent, and more Shepherd Rams, too. You're tuned into TV10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. We're back in 3 minutes.
Located at 4529 Shepherdstown Road in Martinsburg, the Neon Moon Tavern has delicious food and cold beverages. Stop on in Mondays for some mayhem with us and Shepherd quarterback Tyson Bagent, or on Tuesday for some gourmet tacos. Wednesdays is whiskey and trivia night. Thursday is steak night. Fridays are dinner specials. Saturdays there's live music. And Sunday morning is brunch. We're open every day from 11 a.m. to 3 a.m. Call us at 304-260-4002 for takeout or stop on in to the Neon Moon Tavern.
Hagerstown Ford continues to be your leader in car sales up and down the I-81 corridor. We will beat any and all competitors' prices, and we've made buying a new car easier than ever with one-day delivery better than Amazon and a return policy better than Walmart. Your satisfaction is our guarantee. If you don't like it, simply return it and we'll come pick it up. No questions asked. Why would you shop anywhere else? At Hagerstown Ford, we take great pride in our community and supporting our local student athletes. That's why Hagerstown Ford is the official car dealership of Shepherd Rams quarterback Tyson Bagent. Our remote buying process has made new car shopping so easy, you'll never even set foot in a dealership. Simply go to HagerstownFord.com and click on the car you want to buy it, or use the Axle Auto app. It's that easy. You can order your new car on any device. Go to HagerstownFord.com and get your new car signed, sealed, and delivered from Hagerstown Ford.
You've been in an accident. A distracted driver put texting over safety. Your injuries, loss of income, and medical bills can last a long time, even a lifetime. Our job is to try and secure justice that will protect you and your family for the rest of your life. Mansion Ferretti, when you need justice.
Hi, this is Lauren from Orsini's right here in Martinsburg. Grilling is not just for the boys. We are a Platinum Traeger dealer carrying the Pro Series all the way up to the Timberline Series. We have every flavor of wood pellets along with accessories, rubs, sauces. Not just Traeger, we carry Utz, Meat Church, Lanes, and Dizzy Pig. We also carry a full line of Yeti products. Orsini's has everything to complete your backyard. Visit us at 360 Hack Wilson Way or at Orsinis.com.
Welcome you back to the Neon Moon Tavern off Shepherdstown Road in Martinsburg for more Monday Night Mayhem. Colin McLaughlin alongside me is Spencer Dupuy as we'll get ready to preview the New York Giants against the Dallas Cowboys in NFC East battle, as well as go over some bets. And I know Spencer's looking at what I already have preparation-wise and might possibly make a live bet on air. But let's just focus in and start a basic preview. Dallas, New York, two teams that we typically always cheer against, being Washington fans and them being divisional opponents. But I think tonight should be a interesting battle as Dallas.
It's pretty even, honestly.
At New York, it is even. I mean, now, just looking at the line, it is the New York Giants currently favored, but only by a point. So I definitely avoid the line unless you're a Dallas fan. Think that Cooper Rush is able to get you a win against the New York Giants, who, yeah, they're 2-0. But are you fully in on Danny Dimes, or do you think it's just been because of the teams they played? I mean, you got a Week 1 win against the Titans. That was definitely surprising. And then last week, getting a win against Baker Mayfield and the Panthers, and surprisingly so, Baker Mayfield, a guy that I've been a big fan of, honestly, has the worst quarterback rating in the entire NFL.
Yeah.
And that is
the
really
Browns
surprising.
knew what they were doing. The Browns knew what they were doing trading him. That's one thing I got to say.
I mean, they're still waiting for Watson to come back if he comes back. But the Giants favored by 1 point. The over-under set at 39 points as well.
Daniel Jones has never won in primetime.
I think he does tonight. It's in New York.
According to Nick.
This team's 2-0. Dallas might have the better athletes around Cooper Rush, but I still think that Cooper Rush getting a win last week against the Bengals.
I don't get it. I just don't get it.
It was a little bit of luck there involved being in Dallas, and I still think that it was just a slow start.
I don't know, but if you're
the
Jerry
Bengals.
Jones, you're high on Cooper Rush.
I mean, he has been high on Cooper Rush. I know.
Got to be optimistic, right?
It's Jerry Jones. He's always optimistic about the Dallas Cowboys.
I don't think we want to get into
You never
a whole
know
thing
to
about Jerry Jones.
fully believe him. I mean, I guess he's a better owner than Snyder, right?
Yeah.
So let's look here. As I mentioned, the over-under set at 39, and I think I'm taking the under on that. I think kind of like, thank you, by the way, as we get some more drinks coming in here to keep our palates not dry, I guess, as we get to talk
Hey, we
here.
got to talk for 2 hours.
2 hours. It's tough sometimes, but it's football, so it's not too difficult, even though we at times might, make it seem like it's difficult.
Hey, this over-under set at 39.
I think it's under. I think we're going to unfortunately get a game like last night that was, 11-10 between Denver and San Francisco, I think was the final score.
Won, yeah. But if you go under, they're both at minus 110. which isn't crazy for the numbers, for how much you make off a bet if you're betting through the Barstool Sports app, which in West Virginia, Charlestown Races, Hollywood Casino.
They do have a sports book. I actually went and visited there this past weekend. It was a pretty cool setup.
But you're not making any money if you're betting the over-under on the Barstool Sportsbook app.
Yeah, I'm 100% not betting tonight. One, because I already have lost plenty of money so far this season, even though we're in week 3 betting.
See, that's why I
on the
retired.
NFL season.
I retired from betting like last year, and I told myself
Except
I was
for the fact that
it.
you're back in. But
hey,
this game, just with the over-under.
I got $19.50 in this account.
And the spread, unless you're wanting to go prop bets to have some fun, I think you completely avoid this game. And speaking of prop bets, let's get into it now, where either team score over 19.5 points. And since I'm taking the under, I'm saying no. I think both teams are under, and I think this is a defensive battle.
You know, if this
it's
is
the NFC
goal,
East. If it's somehow a shootout, I'll be surprised.
Hey, if this is a field goals only game, do you want to know how much money you can make? You put $5, you can make $225.
What's the odds? That's just no touchdowns, period?
Yeah, that's if it's just kicking field goals the entire game.
I don't think that's going to be the case. I think
no, I don't either. I was just looking at the
some
numbers
touchdowns, but let's look at that over/under. I threw that in there as well. Total touchdowns over/under 4.5 combined between the two teams.
I don't know. Is it going to be a shootout? Is it not? If it's a shootout, then yes. But I don't know how.
I don't think these two teams are built for shootouts.
No. I mean, just Danny Dimes. I just don't think Danny Dimes is built
Danny
for
Dimes
a shootout.
and Cooper Rush. I mean, you've seen crazier things this season, so that's why I wouldn't be surprised if we, for some reason just saw a shootout tonight and this was actually an entertaining Monday Night Football game, which still, even if it's not, please come into the Neon Moon Tavern and grab a bite to eat, a nice cold beverage as well, and come say hi, as Coach McCook's already here. We'll have him on in about 10 or so minutes, maybe even fewer.
5. It's 6:25.
Well, I mean, we still got plenty to go here to preview this Monday night game that we'll also have on the radio side of things. If you're tuned in on TV 10 and you want to hop over and hear the game for Westwood One coverage of Dallas against New York, you can do so on Talk Radio WRNR 106.5 FM 740 AM. But let's go into these prop bets so that we are able to get Coach McCook on, since he's already here and ready to go. And you mentioned total successful field goals, since you think it might be a field goal game. The over-under set at 3.5 successful field goals, so you're definitely taking the over in that aspect, Spencer?
I'm hammering the over.
That's what I forgot.
Waiting for you to get the judge's gavel.
That's why I didn't get a
Still waiting for you to get the gavel from
my mom.
Mrs. McLaughlin.
Yeah, we have a prop one, I know, at home for sure, but I was unable to get
that
it.
This weekend.
I'll try to do my best to get that this
This
weekend.
could really be some mayhem calling it if I started hammering.
Yeah, it's a lot of noise that I don't know if I want in my headset, though.
Over 3.5 field goals, I'm hammering that.
Hey, I can still hear in both ears, even though on the sports mix, whenever you pound the table, I can't. All right, let's move on now. Daniel Jones, over under 195.5 passing yards.
97.5. I'm taking
197. I had that flip. Thank you.
I'm taking the under.
I'm taking the over.
Daniel Jones does not win primetime games.
It's not hard for an NFL quarterback to get over 200 passing yards and still have no touchdowns.
Apparently
I literally just mentioned Trubisky and Wentz did that.
That's true.
So I still think you take the over there. The one that's close is Cooper Rush, 204.5 passing yards. I think he gets the over, but you never know with Vegas. That one's definitely spot on, and I'd avoid that if I was betting tonight.
Yeah, I would avoid that as well. I think either quarterback throwing 2+ touchdowns. No.
I think they get one each.
Potentially.
The rest are rushing. And speaking of, I'll stay the receiving first. CeeDee Lamb over under 63.5 receiving yards.
Well, he'll need over if they're going to win.
I agree. Sterling Shepard over under 44.5 receiving yards. I think yes.
I think that's an over. If it's set at 44.5, he's going to have way more than that.
Saquon Barkley, since we'll quickly transition into rushing yards, over under 74.5 rushing yards. I'm saying under.
I'm saying under because of Pollard.
What?
Or Saquon Barkley, sorry. We're
on the
Zeke
Giants
Elliott.
here still, man.
I was
Come
at Zeke
on.
Elliott. Sorry, my
Zeke
fault.
Elliott's over-under is 56.5 rushing yards.
All right, so Saquon Barkley, I think he gets over.
You think he gets over?
Yes.
I'm saying under. Since we already mentioned Zeke, I'm saying over, but just barely, 56.5.
No, I'm saying he goes under, and I say Pollard goes over. It seems like the Cowboys...
I think they both go over.
It seemed like McCarthy likes Pollard more than he likes Elliott.
We'll have to wait and see.
But they're both they could both... The way that they play, and you look at stats, I feel like they're kind of very similar.
No,
in
I
numbers.
feel like you have to hammer the over-under for Pollard at 37.5. If he's under that,
yeah.
I feel like Dallas gets shut out if he's under that. And then lastly, Daniel Jones, just for fun, because we know, was it last year or 2 years ago, he had the big run that he trips over his own feet against Dallas.
I'm saying the under just because you brought that up.
I mean, that was over 25.5 yards, so if he has that same situation, he definitely gets the over. I'm putting the over just for fun for Daniel Jones, rushing yard-wise. And then touchdown scores, Barkley, yes or no? He's at negative 120.
Yes.
Yes? I'll say yes. Zeke Elliott plus 143.
No.
I'm going with yes for him. CeeDee Lamb plus 143 as well. I'm saying yes. Tony Pollard plus 175.
See, I'm going with no for Zeke, yes for Pollard.
Okay. Noah Brown plus 200.
No.
Going with a yes. Danny Jones.
Running a touchdown in?
Running a touchdown in. Plus 230. I'm saying no as well. Sterling Shepard plus 265. Yes. Richie James plus 290. No. Kenny Galladay, guy that's really struggled so far. He's at plus 35. I think he's able to get it tonight at home. So I'm saying yes for him.
Yes.
As well. And then the last guy that we'll mention, Dalton Schultz plus 410. I'm saying no.
Who?
Exactly.
No.
I just went with the top 10 guys that they had odds-wise, and we'll take a break now. And on the other side of that break, we'll have Shepherd head coach Ernie McCook on to talk about the big win at Kutztown, as well as previewing this week's game at Shippensburg. You're tuned
another
into
all-time classic.
Monday Night Mayhem on TV 10, Talk Radio WRNR, and WRNR TV on YouTube. We're back in 3 minutes.
My kids, you know I want the best for you, don't you? We need to have a conversation.
End-of-life planning is no one's favorite discussion, but the relief of having everything in place when the hour of need arrives is a gift. Give it to your family. Plan ahead with us.
Brown Funeral Homes, a leading provider of cremations, invites you to explore the many flexible options of cremation. From environmental considerations to the benefit of greatly reduced cost, it may be the perfect answer for your family. Online at brownfuneralhomeswv.com. Brown Funeral Homes, here for you.
Advanced technology, compassionate care. That's what you get with WV Medicine General Surgery. Our expert team of board-certified surgeons at WV Medicine Berkeley Medical Center and Jefferson Medical Center combines state-of-the-art technology with patient-centered medical care. With 3 convenient locations, WV Medicine General Surgery offers a variety of robotic and laparoscopic surgery options, featuring revolutionary treatments resulting in better surgical outcomes and quicker recoveries. For appointments, call 304-596-2150.
We're here again 3 times in the past 2 days.
You're where?
Bechtel Jewelers. Look.
Can Mom hear you?
No, she's in a diamond coma. Get her the pendant, or I will.
Hey, that's my credit card.
What? Can't hear you, Dad. You're breaking up.
It's going to take more than a crying baby to wake her out of this diamond coma. You're going to need a mega dose of jewelry from Bechtel Jewelers.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%. Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
A reputation for caring, a legacy of service. At Brown Funeral Homes and Cremations, it's been our story since 1880. A family-owned business, we support the needs and wishes of families. We offer traditional services, as well as many options for cremation, customized remembrances, and pre-planning. Brown Funeral Homes and Cremations retains its family atmosphere and stays true to its roots. Contact us for advanced planning, or at your time of loss. We're here when you need us.
Moon Tavern at 4529 Shepherdstown Road in Martinsburg for some Monday Night Mayhem as we get ready for the New York Giants hosting the Dallas Cowboys at 8:15 on Talk Radio WRNR 106.5 FM 740 AM. I'm Colin McLaughlin. Alongside me is Spencer Dupuis, and we're now joined on the show by Shepherd Rams head coach Ernie McCook. And Coach McCook, congratulations, another big win. And I said it last week jokingly to Tyson, if he can get another NIL deal for some blood pressure pills for the way that you guys always have these crazy games, especially against Kutztown, it seems like. And I'm saying it still. It's been, even though you've been able to get the wins, obviously, and that's a great thing, very intense and high-pressured situations, it seems like, for your team. But they always find a way to win. So what'd you like from your team?
Well, I just liked how everybody displayed tremendous grit and continued to battle the entire game, even when we got down early. That's great leadership from our strong leadership core that we have, Tyson being one of those guys, Kyle Smith being the other. And we just kept battling, and we had a big play on defense with the pick six. Then we had the kickoff return. We were out of sync offensively. Got together at halftime, kind of identified what we wanted to focus on, and came out in the second half, played very well.
Now, with that win, it seems like your team's in a pretty solid position for the rest of the season. I know you don't really want to look all the way up until that point, but I'm going to say you're in a great spot to make it to that PSAC
I'd rather
championship.
I have no idea about that.
At least I tried.
Yeah, I'd rather talk to you about the New York Giants. Just kidding about that. Neither one of them. But our focus is on 1 week at a time, and we've had two unbelievably emotional wins back-to-back weeks with the Cal win and then the Kutztown win. So our guys are going to have to show some mental fortitude to be able to focus on a rivalry game. Shippensburg's an hour away from us. We recruit a lot of the same players. We have a longer history of playing them than anybody else in the Pennsylvania Athletic Conference. So this is a big game on our schedule. It always is. It's going to be a well-attended football game. It matters to our alumni. It matters to the people in the community because they have connections to Shepherd up there, or we have connections to Shippensburg here. So we know that we'll have to play well, and we have to play our brand of football and come out and execute at a high level.
And continuing to talk about last week's win.
Okay.
Clayton Batten, another pick six against Kutztown.
Yeah, we'll take it. I happened to be talking to the O-line, so I didn't see it. And then they were saying, interception, touchdown. I said, who was it? They said Clayton Batten. And then I started to visualize last year's pick and, to see if it was, I wonder if it was like that, and but it was
you go back to watch?
Yeah, we did. We needed it, and it was a really, it was a great play. What a great ball game that was. Two good football teams, and their coaching staff, they do a tremendous job in all facets of their program. We knew it was going to, what a great environment it was, too. I mean, it was a playoff type environment. I was talking to their head coach after the game, and, just a tremendous person and good football coach. We talked about how, our games always come down to the wire, whether it's been the games they played here, was back and forth the couple times we played here and up there, of course. So, couldn't be happier right now. We set our goals when we start the season. We want to win the opener, which we did, and now we want to focus on the Eastern Division of the Pennsylvania Athletic Conference, and that was a huge hurdle right there, playing Kutztown. But we have a lot of football ahead of us that we have to focus on, and it is 1 week at a time.
And we talk about Batten. You talk about Kyle Smith week in and week out. But a guy that's just joined your team for this season is Dwayne Grantham.
Yeah.
And he had another PSAC East Player of the Week caliber type game. He had the first one in week 1 with those 2 picks. But 16 tackles coming up big for your team.
Yeah, Dwayne has been playing at a high level. You could see it developing in the spring when he was here for spring ball, and then as fall camp got, and then he started playing against Southern Connecticut, and then game 2, game 3, game 4. He's a great football player, and we're very fortunate with the players we have from Martinsburg High School. Not just the quarterback and Dwayne, but there's a bunch of other kids that really play a lot of good football for us from Martinsburg, and I feel very lucky to have such a great high school football program so close to us that we can get guys, and we have a culture, because the culture in Martinsburg is great. It's outstanding, and we have a culture that they feel comfortable. Those kids feel comfortable coming and playing here.
Even though it was a win, what do you think your team still needs to improve on?
We need to improve on a lot of things. Blocking, tackling, alignments and assignments. There is a ton of things that reasons we could have lost that football game. And a lot of it is that when we look back on it as a coaching staff, just some poor fundamentals that we did. And, you can never stop coaching fundamentals. A lot of people want to get into schemes and draw X's and O's, but it is about blocking, tackling, catching, throwing, playing defense, different ways to do it. And I would say that's what for us to play at a high level throughout the season, we have to be better each week fundamentally at the game of football.
And then let's talk about special teams. You had the big kickoff return for a touchdown, but on the other side, I know you probably were going to mention it as well, still had a missed field goal too.
Yeah, you want to talk about the good, the bad, or the ugly?
Which one? I'll let you go for it.
I was sitting there yesterday in our staff meeting. I was like, geez, I'd like to pick something that's right. I say kick it, we miss it. I say go for it, we don't get it. What the hell? It's it is a it's like just kills you. And,
just got to start doing the opposite of what you think.
Well, and then I did. We just have to execute. We have to be able to execute, and that's the fundamentals: blocking, tackling, kicking, snapping, holding. Different things like that. You're kind of getting my blood pressure all jacked up here early on.
I told you we need the blood pressure pills.
Yeah, you do. And but we, Jacob. It was a tough angle, he's a right-footed kicker, but he needs to make that kick, and we need to be able to execute it. They put a lot of pressure on us. They did a good job rushing the edge on the field goals and PATs. I thought our operation was good on that stuff, but we'll get better.
And Ronnie Brown.
There you go. Now this is fun to talk about.
Another kick return. I think it should have been a 102-yard kick return for a touchdown. But they shortened him 2 yards there.
Ronnie has come up with some great kick returns for us
especially
in the last couple
of years.
Playoffs. Yeah, last year in the playoffs. And, that was a timely big play for us. That got us right back into that football game. We just given up a long drive for a touchdown, and, we were a little bit in the hole. And the fact that he returned that kick, and good for him, man. And he is. We said it 2 weeks ago. He's a home run waiting to happen, whether he's in the backfield offensively or if he is, returning a kickoff.
And he gets recognized PSAC East
PSAC.
Special Teams Athlete of the Week.
Yeah, Special Teams Player of the Week. Pretty awesome.
Already got one on offense. Now he gets one on the Special Teams. Now to the PSAC East Offensive Player of the Week. Another one for Tyson Bagent. That's going to happen multiple more times this season. But a guy I think that really could have gotten it as well as Marlin Cook. He came up with that big 70-yard touchdown.
How about that?
And 212 yards, I believe, receiving on Saturday.
He's if not the leading receiver in the country.
He's
in top
we
5.
talked about this on the noon show today. Leading receiver in the country. But one thing
what was this that first time for somebody from Shepherd?
That's what I was going to say.
Over 200. I'll let you do it then.
So we were doing some research on the drive home on Saturday. It's the first time Shepherd receiver has gone over 200 yards since the homecoming win over Concord in 2018.
That's great.
When it was Ryan Feast.
Okay, good. Yeah, that's pretty exciting for us there. You know what? Marlin made some great plays, and he got a lot of great yards after the catch.
Mm-hmm.
He was a big physical player and came up and played big time football Saturday, and couldn't be more happy for him.
And I want to talk about Tyson as well, Coach. Almost another 500-yard week for him, 485, I believe it was, with 3 touchdown passes as well, able to continuously, week in and week out, help lead your team. I'll just let you go from there.
He's the best football player in the country, and we have him on our team, and he's going to continue to make plays. He's a guy that we have tremendous confidence in, and we're going to do things that get the ball is in his hand when the game is on the line. And when we need plays, it is going to go through Tyson Bagent.
And, speaking of Tyson, it seems like, not only him, but it seems like every time we're either coming out to practice or at a game, we're seeing NFL scouts out there. Saw 2, I believe the Jets and the Bears were out at that game.
I think that's what Dylan said.
Yeah.
And, it just continues to impress. And
the Senior Bowl was there as well.
Yeah.
Or one of the bowl games was there. And
but he's obviously got to see this stuff, and he's so honed in on the game and poised that it doesn't even get to him.
You know why? Because Tyson has tremendous focus.
Yeah.
The guy is, and he's been like that since his freshman year. He's, you just said the word poise. He's got poise, focus, savvy. He's like got ice water in his veins. He's unbelievable, and he's going to have a great career playing football at the next level, I believe.
Or as
I overheard, I was watching your team warm up. I heard that somebody said he could be a mid-round pick from a Division II college.
Well,
that's pretty impressive all in itself.
That's the grade that
all
we're
right,
giving
I'm going to be the
Reese's
fan.
Bowl.
I'm going to be the fanboy here, okay? Because I'm a huge fan of Tyson Bagent. But
as you should be.
So
Tyson we trust.
Imagine that you need a quarterback, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you got this sleeper here. How far down in the draft picks will go before somebody says, "Man, if we don't take him here, somebody else is going to take him." Yeah, and I just think, this the way he prepares, the way the scouts have come in and seen him, it's just who he is, and he deserves everything that he gets. That's good because of how hard he works and how hard he prepares.
It just sometimes you think maybe you see him. Obviously, he sees him. At practice, he sees him. You've introduced him to him, and it doesn't get in the head. Sometimes it gets in players' heads.
Well, you know what? I mean, his parents have done a great job raising him, and they've prepared him for. He's got a tremendous mental toughness, and he enjoys. I think he's got to enjoy the fruits of his labor.
Final thoughts about last week's game before we take a break and then go into preview the Shippensburg match.
Sure, absolutely. My final thoughts on last week's game, is also in the win up there. They've been a thorn in our side during the regular season, and so it was nice to get that win. They had a lot of motivation going into that game after losing in the regional championship on the Hail Mary pass to us. So they should have been able to have their kids focused to put us away. But our kids just continue to fight and battle and say we refuse to lose and we're going to go as far as we can. And that's what our team did, led by our seniors. How about Kyle Smith coming up with the big sack at the end on fourth down? Malik Holloway, you mentioned Dwayne Grantham. You talk about those guys on defense, what they've done. You talk about the fact that you got Tyson Bagent, you got Joey Fisher, you got the catches that Marlin's making, the plays that Ronnie Brown makes. It's a plethora. It's a team effort out there, and I'm really proud of our football team. And we are looking forward to playing it 1 week at a time and kicking this thing off in the next segment with Shippensburg.
Yeah, and I think that one final thing here is, you look at the season, you guys as a team knew what you'd get out of Marlin, but I don't think the country necessarily knew what he could do. So I think he's kind of just burst onto the scene so far.
Well, it's Tyson's always liked Marlin, has always really, had a great connection with Marlin, and so I'm not surprised by this. But yes, but Marlin's going to have to continue to work to be better. He can't be a flash in the pan, and he's going to have to put effort and work in it to continue to be a better player.
Alrighty, we're going to take a break, and on the other side of that break, we will preview this week's match for Shepherd as they hit the road to take on a rival in Shippensburg. You're tuned into Monday Night Mayhem, live from the Neon Moon Tavern, and we're back in 3 minutes.
Located at 4529 Shepherdstown Road in Martinsburg, the Neon Moon Tavern has delicious food and cold beverages. Stop on in Mondays for some mayhem with us and Shepherd quarterback Tyson Bagent, or on Tuesday for some gourmet tacos. Wednesdays is whiskey and trivia night, Thursday is steak night, Fridays are dinner specials, Saturdays there's live music, and Sunday morning is brunch. We're open every day from 11 a.m. to 3 a.m. Call us at 304-260-4002 for takeout or stop on in to the Neon Moon Tavern.
This is Eric at Hagerstown Ford. Over the last decade, the way we buy things have evolved. Now, you get on your phone, click Want It, and it shows up at your front door. At Hagerstown Ford, it is that convenient. We've changed the car buying experience on the I-81 corridor forever. And with a return policy better than Walmart, there's absolutely no reason to buy a new or used car, truck, or SUV anywhere else. Just like Amazon, Hagerstown Ford will deliver the vehicle to you, where you are, and on your time. And if you don't want it, return it. No questions asked. Why waste your time at a car dealership playing the dumb back-and-forth games? Besides, we hate it more than you do. I assure you, no dealership from Winchester, Virginia to Washington, D.C. will beat our price. No dealership from Chambersburg, Pennsylvania to Baltimore, Maryland will beat our price. And no other dealership will allow you to return it if you don't want it. Hagerstown Ford absolutely provides the best experience at the best price. Visit HagerstownFord.com to schedule your VIP experience. Click on the vehicle you want and get your new ride delivered to you at no risk. See dealer for details.
Are you at risk for a heart attack or stroke? WVU Medicine would like to remind you it's important to recognize the signs and symptoms so you can seek medical attention fast. The acronym FAST stands for F, face drooping, A, arm weakness, S, speech difficulty, and T, time to call 911. If you are having a stroke, get medical attention right away. Immediate treatment may decrease the risk of disability and prevent death. This important message is brought to you by WVU Medicine.
Let's go! Drink some beers! Mountaineer Grill and Pub!
Mountaineer Grill and Pub offers many daily specials, including Trivia Night Monday, Karaoke Tuesday, Steak Night Wednesday and Sunday, Thursday night Boneless Wing Night, and on Friday and Saturday nights, there'll be a DJ and or karaoke. And remember, Monday through Friday, happy hour, 11 a.m. to 6 p.m., $2 domestic bottles and $2.50 domestic drafts.
Let's go! Drink some beers! Mountaineer Grill and Pub!
Welcome back to the Neon Moon Tavern for more Monday Night Mayhem. Colin McLaughlin alongside me is Spencer Buies. We're still joined by the head coach of the Shepherd Rams football team, and Ernie McCook. And Coach, getting ready for Shippensburg this weekend. I know you mentioned last segment it's been a rivalry through and through, teams that you've played the most out of the PSAC. What's it like to finally have them back on the schedule since Shepherd's still new to the PSAC?
I think it's awesome. When I first came to Shepherd, that was our opening game every year. And it was always a big ball game for us, and it was a great way to kick off the season. They didn't like us. We don't like them. So it was always a fun, hard-hitting, get-after type ball game, and with bragging rights. And, that was always a great way to kick off the season. I'm excited to have them on the schedule for the fact that it's a day trip. It's kind of nice playing close to home because we have a great following. We'll travel well. We'll have a lot of people that'll come to the game wearing blue and gold, and that'll be exciting for us. And it's going to be a good football game. If we find a way to win, we'll enjoy the win, and we're going to have to work at it this week in our preparation. and be able to execute at a high level on Saturday. They have a very talented
Before you ask your question, it just popped in my head, and I want to make sure that our listeners and viewers know this week's game is actually at 1 p.m.
Yeah.
Not at noon. So
Different time.
it just popped in my head. I think I might have accidentally said earlier that it was at noon. I don't know if I didn't. I just want to make sure that it's known now that it will be a 1 p.m. kickoff.
Which is all the more reason for more Shepherd fans
12:30.
to make that less than an hour drive. Up
Exactly.
To
You can have lunch beforehand now instead of during.
Hey, one thing I want to point out about this game is that, for you guys, it's kind of like, if you say it's a day trip, kind of like a home game for you. You don't have to go up the night before.
Right.
So it's probably easier to sleep in your own beds.
It is. Yeah, we like to travel too because we like having the team together and stuff like that in the hotel. And we last week was a great trip. We thought it went pretty well.
I think everybody does.
Yeah. So I was talking about the hotel and stuff like that, but I feel like it's a game that is going to have. It usually has a lot of media coverage too, so it'll be exciting. We'll have a lot of fun with it. We're still early in the week of preparation, but once we get it going, we'll be ready to roll.
What have you seen from them so far this season? I know they're led by a new quarterback, so if you want to start with that.
Quarterback is a Boston College transfer. He was a 4-star. He's played, he played a little bit. He was recruited last year, didn't beat out Mussina, but he's gotten all the snaps this year. They've had a freshman play a little bit. They got two talented running backs. Khalid Dorsey is a really explosive guy, catching the ball out of the backfield. Their O-line is young, but you can see that they buy into the schemes that they have. They have a transfer wide receiver, Red. He's been the special teams player of the week a couple times in the PSAC East. He's a dynamic kick returner. He's got the most receiving yards, explosive yards. And then they have another wide receiver, Sheehan, that's a really good player. So there'll be a spread. Their offensive coordinator was the quarterback coach at Fenley when we lost to him in the playoffs. So he feels like he's got us dialed up pretty good, so we'll be hungry to get after that. Defensively, they're a 4-down front. I think they've got two really long defensive ends that can rush the passer. They have a defensive 3 technique that does a great job of getting tackles for a loss. The linebacker is as good as anybody we played against. Number 46 was also the defensive player of the week this week for the PSAC East. He had 6 tackles for a loss last week against Bloomsburg. I think he sees the ball well, goes after and gets the ball. And they're good in the defensive secondary. So and they're always solid in the kicking game.
I'm just saying, just in case somebody from the PSAC's listening, 6 is 10 less than 16. I'll just leave it at that. But
what's that?
I said 6 is 10 less than 16 tackles for somebody else that I think should have been the PSAC East defensive player of the week, and I'll just leave it at that as a little.
We're not numbers people here. I'm not
side
a numbers
note.
person.
I know you're not a numbers guy.
I did not know where you were going with 6 is less than 16.
Now, do you though? I mean, do I need to say the guy's
Yes,
name? We've
I
said it
got
plenty of times.
Yes.
Dwayne Grantham, PSAC player of the East, guys. Come on.
Yeah.
You missed it.
Yeah, they did.
They dropped the ball unlike he does, okay? Let's just go with that. But what does your team need to do to get a win?
We need to be good at fundamentals. Stay away from untimely penalties. Play the game the way it's supposed to be played. Make plays on offense and defense and special teams, and make the ordinary play extraordinary.
You got anything?
Coach has answered everything you've asked him.
That is true. So I guess we'll just try to keep it simple here before we wrap things up. I'll just go with the route of everybody healthy. Any updates, any player situations?
Man, the trainers are going to be the most valuable players this year. We've got everybody's in the training room. We may not have a football team. Hopefully we'll get enough guys on the bus.
Does that help now? Kind of.
I'm just kidding.
I knew.
Speaking of trainers, you guys had that weird situation of opening camp and not having any trainers. Now you have trainers. That obviously helps you in the season.
Oh man, and you talk about the falling out of the lucky tree and hitting every branch. We got some outstanding athletic trainers. Mallory Gomes was at Mount St. Mary's. Lives locally in the area. Is our head athletic trainer. Hired let's see, Gabby is.
Yeah, she's a Marshall alum. Go Herd.
Marshall alum. And then Ivy
I have
Baker,
to keep
who's an Alabama alum. So And then we have great old Gail Connor. Coach Connor, who was a long-time Shepherd guy. Man, you cut him open, he's going to bleed blue and gold. He's come back to help out and help get us through the transition of the one trainer's leaving, the new trainer's, and it's been awesome. I really appreciate how everybody has stepped up to help us, be able to have a productive camp and preseason. And a lot of people were all hands on deck for that, because there was a time when we didn't know whether we'd be able to open camp on time until we had the proper, medical coverage.
Yeah.
And a shout out to our athletic director, Chauncey Winbush, did a tremendous job with that. So I know you didn't want to get all into that detail,
No
but
worries.
I mean,
they're outstanding, and a lot of good things are happening in our athletic department, and it's a really exciting time to be at Shepherd.
All right, final minute. I was going to just let you give out any more shout-outs if you got anything, or just final thoughts in general. Time's yours, Coach. I'll let you go.
It's great to be a Shepherd Ram. How's that? I mean, it's when you have a chance to coach and play at Shepherd University, and last weekend at the Cal game, we dedicated the locker room to Walter Barr.
Okay.
And that was exciting to have Coach Barr's family in Shepherdstown for that dedication, and all his players that came back to celebrate his legacy was really awesome. So, what a great place Shepherd is in this region.
Okay, I know I said that was going to be the last one, but it just popped in my head. We're about to be joined by Ryan Beach as well as Tyson. What should we ask them? If you were in our shoes, what would you ask?
I would just say, you know what? Man, that's a good one. There's a lot of things.
Did we get you, Coach?
I got him. I didn't mean to do that to you, Coach. I know it was a curveball a little bit.
You got me, because they're two of the best.
I should try to ask Tyson that trivia question, though, right?
Yeah, absolutely. But I'll tell you, and have Beach help you with that, because it's going to be interesting to see if Beach.
I was about to say he's one of the.
Well, he's one of the answers.
Exactly.
But it'll be interesting.
Don't know that much.
Yeah. I'll bet
Hopefully.
The one that you said is obscure, I'll bet you he could get it.
Okay.
We'll
let them help.
Yeah.
But appreciate you coming on weekend.
If you stump those two, you can get the dad. I'll bet you the dad can name a few of them, too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Thank you, Coach, for joining us, and we'll take another 3-minute break as we still got an hour to go for Monday Night Mayhem at the Neon Moon Tavern, getting ready for the Cowboys and the Giants. You're tuned in to Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10, as well as WRNR TV on YouTube.
Located at 4529 Shepherdstown Road in Martinsburg, the Neon Moon Tavern has delicious food and cold beverages. Stop on in Mondays for some mayhem with us and Shepherd quarterback Tyson Bagent, or on Tuesday for some gourmet tacos. Wednesdays is whiskey and trivia night. Thursday is steak night. Fridays are dinner specials. Saturdays there's live music. And Sunday morning is brunch. We're open every day from 11 a.m. to 3 a.m. Call us at 304-260-4002 for takeout or stop on in to the Neon Moon Tavern.
Hi, I'm Annette McDonald, and I am the designer at Orsini's in Martinsburg, West Virginia. We welcome you into our store to show you a complete line of what we do here. We design your cabinetry, quartz countertops, granite countertops, hardware, anything for the full remodel of your kitchen and your home needs. We also do bathrooms, and we have flooring available too. We make sure that your project with Orsini's is the best in the market. Welcome to Orsini's.
Orsini's.com.
With Honda, every summer adventure is the destination. Take your adventures even farther with Honda, America's most fuel-efficient full-line automaker. For a limited time, well-qualified buyers can get a 2.9% APR on a 2022 Honda Civic and a 3.9% APR on a 2022 Accord or 2023 HRV.
CMA's Honda of Winchester, 3985 Valley Pike. CMA, moving lives forward.
See dealer for financing details. Exclude Civic SI based on EPA estimate of MY20 full-line automaker fleet-wide fuel economy 2021 EPA Automotive Trends Report.
Are you at risk for a heart attack or stroke? WVU Medicine would like to remind you it's important to recognize the signs and symptoms so you can seek medical attention fast. The acronym FAST stands for F, face drooping, A, arm weakness, S, speech difficulty, and T, time to call 911. If you are having a stroke, get medical attention right away. Immediate treatment may decrease the risk of disability and prevent death. This important message is brought to you by WVU Medicine.
Laura. Hey, Laura. What's with the sunglasses? Ouch.
The word is spreading. Bechtel Jewelers is home to some dangerously brilliant diamonds.
See the difference at Bechtel Jewelers in Inwood. Sunglasses not included.
Let's go! Drink some beers! Mountaineer Grill and Pub!
Conveniently located right off 81 at 214 Mid-Atlantic Parkway, Mountaineer Grill and Pub offers many daily specials, including happy hour 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. with $2 domestic bottles and $2.50 domestic drafts. Monday night is trivia night, Thursday night is wing night, and Wednesday and Sunday night is steak night.
Let's go! Drink some beers! Mountaineer Grill and Pub!
Welcome back to the Neon Moon Tavern as we get ready for more Monday Night Mayhem. Colin McLaughlin alongside me, Spencer Dupuy, as we're now joined by Tyson Bagent as well as Ryan Beach. And guys, another great win on the road. I'll start with you, Tyson, just get your thoughts on the win against Kutztown.
I thought it was an exciting game. I thought, usually going on away games, you don't get
you got it.
You don't get as good of an atmosphere as you do at Shepherd, but I thought Kutztown did a great job of providing a great atmosphere to play in. It was exciting, came down to the wire again, and I think it's only going to help us as a team, going through those games early in the season and coming out on top.
How about you, Ryan?
I think it just shows how this team is together. Like, we didn't come out the first half clicking, so to say, and then second half we came out, figured it out, all three phases of the ball, played well, and we won the game. So.
Yes, sir.
I mentioned it to Coach McCook, by the way, early, and I still I'm going to be on that. I think you need to get us those blood pressure pills. These games are too close for comfort. Can we get a blowout win this week?
Yeah.
Something to, be able to relax in the second half,
well,
have some fun. I think you're having fun still.
We're gonna come out this week, focused as ever.
That's good.
Whether it's going to be a blowout or not, that's up for Shippensburg to decide. But I'm excited, ready to roll.
Got anything? I know you just came back on because you had to get us all situated on the TV side.
Do we want to do this now or wait till later?
It's up to you. I mean, we got 25 more minutes with them. You want to keep it for segment 2, or do you want to talk NFL with them for that?
Let's do it right now.
I mean, it's going to take a while, so we'll let them start now and then progress throughout the entire 25 minutes. Yeah.
So, over your career at Shepherd, you've thrown touchdown passes to 22 different players.
I'm gonna block that from you. I see you peeking over.
Can you name the 22?
All right, yeah, I can. All right, here we go. We got.
Take your time because he's bad at numbers, so he's probably gonna,
I'm just
forget on who you've already mentioned.
We've got Greg Leonard, Ryan Feist, Wanye Allen, DJ Cornish, Alex Wetzel, Dylan Brewer, Deontay Glover, Ty Hebron, Ronnie Brown, Ryan Beach. Did I say Ryan Feist already?
Yeah. You're at 10 now.
10.
10 out of 22.
Right,
that's a good start.
Got Marlin Cook, Kenny Edlin, Michael McCook, Brian Walker.
14. Got 8 more.
Let's see. Josh Polis.
7 more.
Did I say Kenny Edlin already?
Yes.
You want help?
I think you missed one.
Hold up. I'm at 15, right? I got 15.
You're at 15.
I'm at 15, and then we've got.
We got 7 more.
Last year.
Josh Gonteric, Jonathan Moss. That's 17.
5 more. I can't help you because I don't know it either.
No. Oh, this is brutal.
There's one that I don't think you'll get because you only threw the touchdown to him once.
Well, that's a couple people.
True. I think he's missing one from this year 2 weeks ago, right?
You're missing one from this year. You're actually missing 2 guys at the
here we go. Cameron Dorner.
There you go.
That's number 18.
That's who I was thinking of, so I can't help you now. Let me peek over.
I'm still trying to catch up.
That's 18.
I figured you
got
were.
4 more dudes. Come on, man.
Put the crying emoji to that one. Has he really not said him yet?
Didn't mean to do that.
I was about to say. I thought he said Hebron already.
Yeah, I said Hebron.
Yeah, I was about to say. He put a crying emoji instead of check mark, so I thought he was like.
The crying emoji.
I'm not throwing you out.
Antoine Squire.
There you go.
Okay.
There we go. That's a good one.
What? 3 more?
I never threw one to Zion Sturdivant. I don't think.
Did you say him already?
I'm pretty sure he did. If he did, I swear he did. I can't.
Come on, man.
We can't go back and
keep
check.
track of this.
Oh, you're going too fast.
I'm at 19. Right? I got 3 more.
You said Ronnie, right?
Said Ronnie. Yeah, I said Ronnie.
Yeah,
I said
I
Ronnie.
could have swore you did.
I think one guy's still on the team. I could be totally wrong.
Ryan, what do you think? Get you in it now?
Can you think of anything? Can you think of any?
No.
My freshman year, my sophomore year, my junior year.
We got to keep going, though. Obviously, we don't want silence on here. So, you're at 19 to 22. That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
I think while we
good
go.
completion percentage. I mean, it's all touchdowns anyway, so that's really good touchdown stats.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go in and just
that's
talk about
pretty
the
good
season
right
as a
off the top
whole
of your
so
head.
far.
Let's let Ryan talk about your season so far. I know a lot of people have maybe expected to see you in the end zone more, but you're getting a lot of those double coverages.
Yeah. You know, whatever happening right now, we're just trying to figure out game to game. We're seeing a lot of stuff on film, and then it's not happening during the game. They're switching it up on us, so it's a little harder this year. But you know, Marlin Cook stepping up, all those guys on the outside are stepping up this year really big. So it doesn't, as much as it would be fun, winning's fun to me. So that stuff doesn't really matter to me as much. But
it's your first time being on the show with us, and I don't know off the top of my head how much Nick's talked to you to either pregame, postgame type deal with our Shepherd coverage, but I just want to ask you about your journey, what led you to Shepherd and what it's been like being a Ram.
Rodney Dorsey. That's 20.
I was waiting for that.
Back for you.
That was a big part, though. Ronnie Dorsey we grew up in the same place, so he kind of pushed me to Shepherd when I was in high school.
So I gave Tyson a hint a little bit there.
Yeah, but no, I mean, I think I always knew I was going to come to Shepherd. I went to Urbana before I went to Northwest High School in Germantown, and it was always getting pushed on me, like, you know, Coach McCook. I was always at practice, like at a young age, my sophomore year in high school. So, you know, it's been a long ride, and it was my only school that I was going to go to out of all the schools that offered me, and I knew that. So I'm happy to be here, and I love this team. So Shepherd's the best place to be for me.
And then opposite-wise, I know you're thinking of 2 more guys, Tyson, but what's it like having Ryan be one of your receivers this season?
I think it's special. I think this year, you know, from everything he did last year, and to progress into this year and have a lot more focus on him. I think last year he was an unknown, and then he was able to do things, you know, because people weren't very focused on him. But I think this year he takes a lot of he takes almost all the eyes in the secondary. Everybody knows where he's at all times, and I think that has allowed for, you know, dudes like Brian Walker and Marlin Cook to be so, you know, dynamic these last few weeks. And, you know, as that goes, then people are going to have to count for them. Eyes are going to go to them, and then it's always the next man up every week. It's never really, in my opinion, focused on anybody or on any one pass catcher each week. But I think having Ryan Beach on the team, he makes my job a hell of a lot easier.
How much did you guys work together during the off season, and what have you guys been working on so far during the season?
You know, each off season so far, you know, we meet up, we go through the route tree. I set a date, because if I don't set a two day a week date, I'll have 1 or 2 guys hit me up every single day to try to throw. I'm really into taking care of my body, so I don't want to overdo it. So I designate two days a week, and I'm in a group chat with everybody. You know, whoever can make it makes it, and I think that has allowed us. That has allowed us to be on time, on target always, as well as, you know, develop a chemistry. And from, you know, all the repetitions that me and Ryan Beach have had in the springs and, you know, in last fall and in the summers, I think, you know, we're kind of on the same page even if we don't talk to each other. And that actually, you know, played a part in a couple big plays this past weekend. So I think it's just little things like that help dudes like me be able to execute at an even higher level.
So since we had Coach McCook on earlier before you guys, we talked about the poise that you have, and you even just showed it just 30 seconds ago with your sister trying to distract us behind the camera. I don't even think you noticed her dancing, trying to throw you off there a little bit. But,
I stopped paying attention to her before we got here.
Don't get in trouble now. Got to be careful with what you say there. But, Ryan, let's go into other things other than football that you like doing, just to get to know you some more?
I like hanging out with all the guys. Brian Walker and I have became really close friends from just through football, really.
Okay.
But we also grew up in the same area, trained in the same place. But really, if I'm not playing football, we're all around each other, and that's pretty much all we do is watch football, hang out, just chill together as a team. But that's mostly all we do.
All right. For those watching on the TV or YouTube side, they obviously see your Eagles hat. How'd you become an Eagles fan, man, being Maryland guy?
My dad his mom gave him the green pajamas on Christmas, and his brother got the red ones. So it was the now Commanders, and my dad got the Eagles. So I've always been an Eagles fan.
Fair enough.
Yep. 3-0 though, so it's nice. Long time since it's been 3-0.
Well, I'll let you ask a question this time.
I don't have another question.
You don't have another question? I mean, you can ask Tyson about, his Dolphins.
Yeah, how about them Dolphins?
Fins up, baby.
How about them Dolphins?
Fins up. That's all I got. Fins up.
Ready?
Best team in the league.
Settle the argument with us that we had earlier. Do I have a concussion, yes or no?
I did not see
Or you can completely avoid it.
I did
That's
not
fine.
see the play. I did not see the play, but I heard it looked bad.
I saw a video after the fact, and he was stumbling big time afterwards. I thought he had a concussion.
Yeah.
He says no, but, I mean, a win's a win, right?
A win is most definitely a win against, before that game, the best team in the league.
Are they the best team in the NFL?
The Dolphins?
Yeah.
Right now, yes. And I stated this before the season started.
I mean, you got another, fan of a 3-0 team over there.
3-0, so
way higher competition played
Did you
in Miami.
and Michael have a bet?
Did me and Mike have?
Guy?
Say it again.
Isn't he a
Yeah.
Bills guy?
We didn't have a bet, but I was talking to him the whole time. I let him know.
Were you able to watch it?
Nah, we had meetings all day Sunday, so just got to keep up in between.
Any other thoughts on any of the two remaining guys?
We're going to take a break, though, first. You still got 15 minutes, but before we take our break, you got two more guys.
I can't help you.
I do believe that they might have been before Beach got there.
Yeah, I was going to say, I tried to help him out with Moss and Gonteric.
Because I think you caught the first touchdown of last year.
I was about to say, we'll let you think about it during the break.
Oh, my gosh. Greg Leonard. No, I said Greg Leonard.
Yeah. We'll take a three-bird.
Greg Leonard caught your first career touchdown.
And the first touchdown last year.
Yeah.
It's true. So let's take a 3-minute break. On the other side of that break, we'll talk some Shippensburg, some NFL if you guys want to as well.
Sure.
And we'll let you think some more about those final two players that you threw touchdown passes to. And if you want to ask around maybe to Coach McCook or to your dad or Ezra, whoever you want to ask around here might be able to help. But you're tuned into Monday Night Mayhem live from the Neon Moon Tavern on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10. Located at 4529 Shepherdstown Road in Martinsburg, the Neon Moon Tavern has delicious food and cold beverages. Stop on in Mondays for some mayhem with us and Shepherd quarterback Tyson Bagent, or on Tuesday for some gourmet tacos. Wednesdays is whiskey and trivia night. Thursday is steak night. Fridays are dinner specials. Saturdays there's live music. And Sunday morning is brunch. We're open every day from 11 a.m. to 3 a.m. Call us at 304-260-4002 for takeout or stop on in to the Neon Moon Tavern.
Hagerstown Ford continues to be your leader in car sales up and down the I-81 corridor. We will beat any and all competitors' prices, and we've made buying a new car easier than ever with one-day delivery better than Amazon and a return policy better than Walmart. Your satisfaction is our guarantee. If you don't like it, simply return it and we'll come pick it up. No questions asked. Why would you shop anywhere else? At Hagerstown Ford, we take great pride in our community and supporting our local student athletes. That's why Hagerstown Ford is the official car dealership of Shepherd Rams quarterback Tyson Bagent. Our remote buying process has made new car shopping so easy, you'll never even set foot in a dealership. Simply go to HagerstownFord.com and click on the car you want to buy it, or use the Axle Auto app. It's that easy. You can order your new car on any device. Go to HagerstownFord.com and get your new car signed, sealed, and delivered from Hagerstown Ford.
A reputation for caring, a legacy of service. At Brown Funeral Homes and Cremations, it's been our story since 1880. A family-owned business, we support the needs and wishes of families. We offer traditional services, as well as many options for cremation, customized remembrances, and pre-planning. Brown Funeral Homes and Cremations retains its family atmosphere and stays true to its roots. Contact us for advanced planning or at your time of loss. We're here when you need us.
You've been in an accident. The choice of a lawyer may be the biggest decision you make for you and your family's future. At Mansion Ferretti, we offer a free consultation and no fees until we win your case. Call us today and protect your future. Mansion Ferretti, when you need justice.
Let's go! Drink some beers! Mountaineer Grill and Pub!
Mountaineer Grill and Pub offers many daily specials, including Trivia Night Monday, Karaoke Tuesday, Steak Night Wednesday and Sunday, Thursday night Boneless Wing Night, and on Friday and Saturday nights, there'll be a DJ and or karaoke. And remember, Monday through Friday, happy hour, 11 a.m. to 6 p.m., $2 domestic bottles and $2.50 domestic drafts.
Let's go! Drink some beers! Mountaineer Grill and Pub!
We welcome you back to the Neon Moon Tavern in Martinsburg for more Monday Night Mayhem. Colin McLaughlin and Spencer Dupuis joined alongside Tyson Bagent and Ryan Beach. And during the break, Tyson, you got number 21. I'll let you say it now just for the record to those tuning in out of those that have caught a touchdown pass to you during the Shepherd career.
Jordan Washington.
So now
Kutztown 2019.
You got one more that you need to get
before I'll think while
the
we
bottom
go.
of the
I'll
hour.
think while we go.
It's
I'll
only
think while
one.
we go. I'll think while we
the
go.
final drive, you've been able to work it out. I think you'll work this one out and get number 22. So let's get into Shippensburg rivalry game for Shepherd. What have you guys seen from them film-wise so far?
Looking at them today, they struggled early on, but they had a dominant win. I felt last week, and any team that's riding on a win is a dangerous team. We obviously see some things we like. They've got good players in positions, just like everybody will the rest of the season. So it's another game that we can't tread lightly. We can't ride high on these last two wins we've been able to come out with, and we got to continue to execute and continue to be just super crazy efficient, week in and week out.
All right, I have a correction to say. Apparently he got 14 touchdown passes from me. I don't know. I'm looking at the official offensive stats on the Shepherd website in 2019.
He caught 14 touchdowns in 2019?
That's what it says.
Are you sure it's off from Tyson?
He had a couple 100-yard games. Went over 150 once.
Did you say Dev?
Yeah, I said Devin Phelps, right?
Oh, well, I guess I wasn't listening. You got all
wow.
I was trying to get all the other ones down. You said a lot right off the top.
I was about to say, I don't know. We'll have to go back and check, but you got all 22 now. There you go. And
soon to be 23 to E.J. Morgan.
Yes, 100%.
That was where we found the stat. We were trying to see how many people he had thrown a touchdown to.
We challenge him next week?
E.J. Morgan hadn't caught a touchdown yet, and we're like, how many others have caught? And
then
he's on. Dorner got number 22.
Yes. Yeah, I think, EJ has had to battle with injury since arriving here, and I think now he's entering his flow state where he's playing good, he's playing smart, and he's making things happen with the ball. So the time will come.
All right, tonight it's Dallas and the Giants. Who do you guys like in this matchup?
I like Dallas. I got Dallas winning.
Yeah, I mean,
it's tough to choose being an NFC East fan, right?
Yeah,
you always like when both teams lose.
I don't like either of them, but I don't want the Giants to be undefeated anymore.
That's fair. Yeah, I see your standpoint right now. Being good. Eagles at 2-0, Giants at 2-0.
They won't be good by the end.
Yeah, I know. And my roommate, my roommate's a Giants fan, so
my dad's a Giants fan.
If the Giants win, he's gonna let me hear about it.
I think it's tough. I think Dallas has got better players, but the Giants are 3-0, so they're unbeaten.
Not looking to be 3-0, 2-0.
They're 2-0.
Yeah, only 2-0.
Oh, okay.
They played tonight.
Didn't play yesterday. Yeah.
Yep.
So but the Giants are undefeated. They beat the Titans.
Does Dimes finally have it figured out? I mean, what do you think's going on? They beat the Titans. I mean, they're a decent team. You got to think above average, and then Panthers. I like Baker, but I'm not sold anymore.
I think it's a toss-up. Two below-average teams, but I'm going with the Cowboys tonight.
Going with the Cowboys.
I'm going with the boys.
You just saying that because of your dad
and my brother.
Asher's a Cowboy fan.
He is. Yep.
He did not tell us
He's
that.
a bit of a team hopper, but he's been consistent.
He can't hear you though. So
he's been consistent with the Cowboys last 2 years.
Well, Cooper Rush though.
2 years. That's something.
Cooper, hey, you saw.
He did beat the Bengals.
He made it happen in crunch time last week.
I don't know.
I think he's going to get in his rhythm. CeeDee Lamb's going to have a big night, and the Cowboys are going to come out on top.
All right. what do you guys want to do? You want to keep talking about this week's game? Anything else that?
I've got a question.
Okay.
I know you don't like everything being about yourself. Another PSAC East Offensive Player of the Week for you this week. But obviously, I think you would have wanted to go to somebody else on your team.
I think I was surprised that Marlin Cook didn't get it.
Yes, I think I was surprised too.
I was surprised he didn't get it, but I think it is tough, especially being a receiver. If a quarterback has a good game and only one of the touchdowns go to the receiver that has a big yardage game, I guess you kind of compare the stats and be like, oh, well, he was able to spread the ball around and to different dudes and get other people, in their slots, which I get it, but I also think, Marlin Cook's having a crazy year, and
he had that. It was a big run after the catch on that 7-yard touchdown.
And I think more than anything, the offensive players of the week aren't necessarily for anything except to make the player feel better. I feel like they don't do anything for that. Like, you don't get anything. It's just kind of just throwing it out there. I'd be cool if they didn't give me any more. Just let them, whoever that had the
I don't know. What just popped up into my head, and we might have to figure it out stats wise. You have more touchdown passes to different receivers in 22. Do you have more PSAC East offensive players of the week, I wonder?
He definitely has more
than
offensive
22.
players of the week.
You think so?
Oh, nah, I doubt it.
I think it's close. I think it's close.
Last year, I think he got every single week.
I feel like you might be right, but
maybe.
Question that popped in.
212 yards, though.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
that's the first guy to go over 200 yards receiving since
Ryan Fleisch
in 2018.
Yeah.
Question that pops in my head that I want to ask both of you guys.
Before we ask the question,
I'll let you.
Our producer back in the studio, Nick, he went over the tape. He did not say Devin Phelps.
Yeah, I didn't think you said Dev either.
I didn't say Dev.
No, I didn't say.
Oh, that's ridiculous. I definitely thought Dev then. That's ridiculous.
All right, so the question that I have is a two-part question. I'll start with you, Ryan. What are the goals that you've already accomplished so far this season, and what are the goals that you have left to accomplish?
Yeah, definitely win the first four. We wanted to win the opener. That was our first thing. And then Coach Cook, he really gets us on that. And then a goal I want to have is I want to win the PSAC this year because I didn't do it last year. And then, of course, win the last game we play, national championship. But I really want to win the PSAC because we didn't get the chance to do it last year, and I felt like we should have.
Tyson, same thing? Anything different?
Yeah, goals for this year, I think we're on pace. Personally, I think we're on pace with every goal I had set, so far. And then, like Beach said, winning the PSAC. I don't have a conference championship since being at Shepherd, so I think that would be something good to go out on. And then obviously getting a bid to the playoffs, and then winning the last game we play.
Yeah, that's been consistent with everything you've told us from the start of the year.
Yes.
Any final thoughts then, guys, before we wrap up?
I got nothing.
Shout outs, anything?
Shout out to Hagerstown Ford. Shout out to the Rockwell clothing line. Shout out to the Neon Moon. If you're not at the Neon Moon, where you at?
What food are you guys getting tonight?
Oh, I don't know. I might go.
Have you tried those?
I might go crazy. I might.
Bay honey wings yet?
No, I haven't. I might not go.
I was
with wings
debating
tonight.
on doing that. I don't know.
I might not go with wings tonight.
Before we end, can we squash the beef? Was there any?
He felt like he had beef last week.
Nah,
I thought you were just messing with him, but he took it a little personal.
He probably said the same thing this week.
No, he didn't. No, I made sure
at
he did.
halftime, he's probably like,
No, I even said it on the show today. At no point I honestly felt like anybody was ever worried, even though you guys were down 21-7 at one point.
So many crazy things happen.
So many crazy things happen, and the offense is the best in the country. I mean, you guys do a great job.
We'll get the fist bump on Cam. There we go.
Wait, I got one other thing to say. Let me figure out. I have it written down. It's nothing bad. It's actually very positive.
I knew it was. I'm just messing with you. I thought you were going to, pull out your phone and ask for a picture now or something.
The name is just escaping me off the top of my head, even though we talked to Coach McCook about it. Clayton Batten, another pick six at Kutztown.
Yeah.
How the scoring started for your team.
Yeah, I think that was huge. That was a momentum shift in the game that kind of equaled things out for the time being. And I think Clayton Batten's one of the few guys that play defense that could play offense. He's got the skill set. He's got the ball skills to play offense, and I think that's why he's able to come up, because that wasn't an easy pick. He got tipped. There were hands involved, and for him to come out and then know what to do with the ball after he gets it, he's a big time player, and that's what big time players do.
And he could have been PSAC East Defensive Player of the Week. Dwayne Grantham.
Yeah,
16 tackles is crazy.
16 tackles and he doesn't get it.
No representation.
I thought Wayne was going to get it for sure.
Come on.
I already ranted.
Who had the Defense Player of the Week?
Shippensburg.
Do we see what he did? What did he do?
6 tackles, I think Coach McCook said. I don't know the rest of the stats. We'd have to look, but it wasn't 16.
We could have went 3.
Man,
they didn't want us to have all 3.
Those Player of the Weeks are rigged, man.
Just figure out who it was and make sure they don't have those stats this week.
My goodness, 16 tackles. Has anybody done that in all of D2 this year?
No,
that's
crazy. It is. It's crazy at any level for 16 tackles, but I don't know, man.
You keep hitting Marlin Cook, he'll still lead all D2 in receiving.
Is he leading all D2?
Yeah.
Wow.
Go, Marlin.
Let's go. That's big. That's big time.
All right, so just to help Ryan out, because I said last week, can we get a McCook touchdown? You guys did, so can we get a Beach touchdown this week?
Yes, sir.
All right, there we go. That's going to wrap up this segment. Appreciate both of you guys coming on, enjoy some food, and get ready to enjoy tonight's game, both of them picking the Cowboys. On the other side of this break, we'll have the Beast on to get his reactions from Martinsburg's win and Shepherd Trent, as well as preview tonight's game and next week's game for both the Bulldogs and the Rams. You're tuned into Monday Night Mayhem live from the Neon Moon Tavern on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Located at 4529 Shepherdstown Road in Martinsburg, the Neon Moon Tavern has delicious food and cold beverages. Stop on in Mondays for some mayhem with us and Shepherd quarterback Tyson Bagent, or on Tuesday for some gourmet tacos. Wednesdays is whiskey and trivia night. Thursday is steak night. Fridays are dinner specials. Saturdays there's live music. And Sunday morning is brunch. We're open every day from 11 a.m. to 3 a.m. Call us at 304-260-4002 for takeout or stop on in to the Neon Moon Tavern.
Hello?
We're here again 3 times in the past 2 days.
You're where?
Bechtel Jewelers. Look.
Can Mom hear you?
No, she's in a diamond coma. Get her the pendant, or I will.
Hey, that's my credit card.
What? Can't hear you, Dad. You're breaking up.
It's going to take more than a crying baby to wake her out of this diamond coma. You're going to need a mega dose of jewelry from Bechtel Jewelers.
A reputation for caring, a legacy of service. At Brown Funeral Homes and Cremations, it's been our story since 1880. A family-owned business, we support the needs and wishes of families. We offer traditional services, as well as many options for cremation, customized remembrances, and pre-planning. Brown Funeral Homes and Cremations retains its family atmosphere and stays true to its roots. Contact us for advanced planning, or at your time of loss. We're here when you need us.
With Honda, every summer adventure is the destination. Take your adventures even farther with Honda, America's most fuel-efficient full-line automaker. For a limited time, well-qualified buyers can get a 2.9% APR on a 2022 Honda Civic and a 3.9% APR on a 2022 Accord or 2023 HRV.
CMA's Honda of Winchester, 3985 Valley Pike. CMA, moving lives forward.
See dealer for financing details. Exclude Civic SI based on EPA estimate of MY20 full-line automaker fleet-wide fuel economy 2021 EPA Automotive Trends Report.
Let's go! Drink some beers! Mountaineer Grill and Pub!
Conveniently located right off 81 at 214 Mid-Atlantic Parkway, Mountaineer Grill and Pub offers many daily specials, including happy hour 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. with $2 domestic bottles and $2.50 domestic drafts. Monday night is trivia night, Thursday night is wing night, and Wednesday and Sunday night is steak night.
Let's go! Drink some beers! Mountaineer Grill and Pub!
Welcome you back for more Monday Night Mayhem live from the Neon Moon Tavern. Colin McLaughlin alongside me is Spencer Dupree, and we're now joined by the Beast in Travis Bagent, and we'll get right into it, starting with Martinsburg, a huge win on homecoming night, 63-6, and 5 touchdown passes
for the birthday
boy, and your son Ezra as well. What were your reactions just overall for the win?
Well, first of all, the night was amazing. It was kind of a bad night for the Bajan household overall. I'll go into that, but as far as the game, it was great for Martinsburg to get back on track. Hedgesville came out, and for the first 10, 20 plays, they played really hard. And, I know a lot of those kids, so it was awesome to see Drew Milton and Jackson and, all those kids all played for us when they were younger. So they really put their best foot forward. And then right afterwards, we got in a groove, and then, those screen passes buzzed over. Murphy Clement, they make it, they made it look easy for us. So it was great. But as a whole, I just want you guys to know that I'm setting out on the 29-yard line. I've got my wife on one side, Ezra in the middle. Ezra looks over to me and says, I am winning the homecoming king 100%. And I'm like, yo, bro.
I mean, good confidence.
Why would you think you're going to win the homecoming king?
Mm-hmm.
And he said, everybody I talked to said they voted for me. I'm like, of course they did.
They're not going to lie to you,
Yeah,
right? No, who's going to lie in that situation, right? Yeah, no.
Yeah.
One, you got to keep his confidence up, and two, you're not going to lie. That's
and I
the bad.
tried to tell him, I'm like, listen, man, you football players wear those helmets. It's the basketball players that are always the ones that get the most notoriety. So last year with Avion, or is it Avion?
No, Avion won this year.
No, this year. Who won last year? The point guard on the
Kamarion Dow?
Yeah, Kamarion. I'm
Was it?
sorry.
Okay,
yeah.
there you
So
go.
Kamarion
Good
won
stuff.
last year, and I was
think of
out
it.
there with Ez as the junior prince, and I told him then, I'm like, there it is, prime example. Basketball players always get the girls, and everyone recognizes their face. So that was very disappointing.
Plus, they're a little closer to them. Sitting on a basket in the gym of a basketball game, you're right there.
Right. I mean,
you don't have the track.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. I remember watching the U back in the day, and that was one of their star slot receiver was like, man, every time I got in the end zone, I took my helmet off right away. Everyone knew who the basketball players were. I wanted them to know me too. But, here's the thing with me. If my sons come home from school and tell me that they threw 5 touchdowns at recess, no crap there, Captain Obvious. That's what I've given you. But when my son tells me he's going to win the homecoming king, woo! Now I'm like, okay, because I was not the homecoming king. So I was pumped.
Were you in it? Yeah.
I was not even.
Were you part of the court? I was about to say.
I was not even close.
Clearly, we weren't either.
Yeah.
We
were all
leave it at that.
the
Yeah.
same now.
I finally got something in common with the beast. It took us how many weeks? Finally got something in common with the beast.
Don't get me wrong. My wife was on the court, but they didn't let me hang out with all that. So I was super pumped, and then he finally convinced me that it was in fact going to happen, and that we were going to have a homecoming king there. And right when they said his name, and I was like,
Tyson not win?
Tyson did not win it either, but Tyson rarely even speaks to people. He has talked more to you two than anybody ever in high school, I'm sure.
I would say ever since we did this show, I've talked more to him than I did last year.
Yeah, 100%. So, and I mean, I think that's a part of, no matter who you are, because not everyone's a talkative, awesome person like moi. But so if you're not, you slowly understand what that role
Felt like that's why you'd be a homecoming king. You could go up to anybody and just be like, hey, vote for me.
Yeah, they couldn't get over. I was a little chubby in high school, and it just didn't work out. And then if anyone said some smart to me, I was quick to put up them dukes, too. So
okay, yeah, that might get somebody on the bad side of you to not vote for you if he's like, oh, man, that's the guy that beat me.
Of course. You catch me in lunch detention quick.
Okay, fair enough.
And listen, it still remains today. Someone told me the other day, I can't believe that you acted like that or did that back in the day or on this iPad or at this arm wrestling event. And I tell those people every time, I'm day to day, minute to minute. Someone says something crazy to me, and you'll catch me on the front of the Martinsburg Journal again.
So, again?
Don't ever forget that.
What happened the first time?
Whoa, can't get up.
I don't think that's terrible.
This ain't
innocent until proven
hey,
guilty, right? Innocent until proven guilty.
Guys, all right? Now, I'm just telling you, I'm not the one. So you keep that in mind for future.
Well, at least you didn't do that to me after last week.
Yeah.
After Colin goes and blurts my off-air
innocent
conversation.
until proven guilty.
You heard about that?
Well, listen.
No, the beef's over, I thought. Why are you bringing it back up?
The beef's over, but he heard
You're the
about
one
it.
bringing it back up.
The most important thing
Just saying.
is for you to remember that
in Tyson we trust.
My love is unconditional. And listen, what you did is exactly what I expected you to do. So, hey, I can't blame people for being who they are, man. First of all, you're a Marshall guy. And you're a Redskin guy, right? That says about everything I need to know about.
Well, in my defense, I grew up 15 minutes from the practice facility. Everywhere I went, I saw players.
I got you, 100%.
That's how you get
All right,
the fandom.
let's reel it back in now. Get back to the Martinsburg reaction, just win in general.
Yeah, super happy, and I think that, tough pill to swallow with the Highland Springs game.
Yeah,
and then
but they bounce back.
Of course, you get back at it and you realize, just like life, no matter how bad you think it is, it's really not that bad. Take a deep breath. Get focused back in, and I thought they did a great job.
And it goes to show kind of just the resilience and the grit that team has, because that game against Highland Springs really could have put your team down.
100%. Also,
that big loss after winning last year, and you could just be kind of down in the dumps, but obviously practice last week was good.
And whoever came up with that schedule, great job, because nothing better than bouncing back with Hedgesville and Washington after a tough L.
I have to say, though, Hedgesville definitely building the program.
You know what? Uphill battle when it comes to having
the teams that are already in the EPAC.
Well, and then having such an elite team so close to you, you have to understand that every year you're going to get some momentum, and then you may get knocked back a little bit. But there's no doubt that the first 20 plays showed me that, Hedgesville did a great job. Also, even back in the day when we used to play Joey, they would recognize that they were the underdog, and that's always an appreciation to me when a coach and a team plays like an underdog and they really try with unconventional stuff. You saw them come out. Jackson's throwing that ball around, and, hey, man, listen.
I think
that kid's pretty good.
We were told a stat that it was the, first time in 22 years that Hedgesville had the lead against Martinsburg and got the ball back, keeping that lead.
Yeah, no doubt.
First time in 22 years that happened, so we'll now quickly transition so you have plenty of time with your sponsor in the Arm Wrestling Challenge to get your reaction on Shepherd and the big win against the Golden Bears.
First of all, I think I'd be to just point out the obvious, and that's really I was not aware of. Cookstown football is pretty awesome. Meaning they do a really good job. That game day environment, I think, was lit.
That fire truck.
Yeah, I was not there.
I don't think they had the fire truck playoffs, did they? No, I mean last year. I don't remember a siren during the regional championship.
I wasn't there for the regional championship last year. I had to go to the Martinsburg High School game, so I didn't know that it was that awesome of a game day environment. But it was amazing. I mean, they really, really did a good job, and they packed those stands. And, Cookstown football is the real deal. And, but what a great weekday time to be a Shepherd Ram.
100%.
Me and Tyson have never experienced a 4-0 start. So each year we have faltered either at the beginning of the year or in those first 3 games. So to be 4-0, to have the schedule one that, we really feel like if we do what we need to do, that we have an opportunity to do what the great Shepherd University teams in the past did. Even though not in the PSAC, in that MEC, they went on a bunch of runs where they had these undefeated seasons, and we want to be a part of that. I know I do. And it's easy for me. I know if you're the athlete, you really have to be careful with chasing stats and numbers and, and all that stuff, wins and losses. But as a dad, there's absolutely nothing else that I want to do except look at numbers, chase stats, and check everything out. So super happy with Shepherd University and the fact that Cookstown really provided a great D2.
And Tyson's made Marlin the highest, most receiving yards in all of D2 for Marlin McCook.
I talked to Marlin's family. They said the exact opposite. They told me that thanks to Marlin, Tyson is in the lead.
I was about to bring up a stat that I don't know if you were aware of. We got told this from a coworker of ours in Dylan Bishop, and it's according to NCAA's D2 record book, Tyson is 18 passing touchdowns and 2,283 passing yards away from the all-time D2 career records for both of those.
Not that I'm counting, but I am certainly aware of the exact number.
I had a feeling you would be.
Down to the fraction.
I definitely think
why
that you'll agree that it's accomplishable,
hey,
right?
that's why
it's
we
accomplishable.
saw you after the Southern Connecticut game, and you're like, that was 400 yards.
Yes. Right. That exact 100%. Yeah, no doubt. So yes, we're definitely super excited. And once again, as a human being, you hear people, if you're chasing stats, not a cool thing. I get it. But let me tell you something. All of you guys, if you are blessed and lucky enough to have a college athlete that is about to break some records, then don't be afraid to check out all the numbers, relish in the moment. And Tyson has, in the past, and continued to make me, like the happiest father that has ever lived.
Well, that's always good to hear. Final thoughts before we take a break to get to your challenge for tonight, Shippensburg?
Shippensburg, always a tough game for us. We had to come from behind twice in the past 4 years or 3 years. So, and then last year we kind of got on them a little bit, so that was cool. But I think the only thing that could definitely happen if we're not careful is that we let one of the teams that is not supposed to win sneak up on us. I am hoping that a mature Tyson Bagent, a mature Shepherd Rams University team, and then, of course, you always have Coach McCook, and you can see it on his face. He's not looking over anyone. He understands how precious winning is. So, hey, I'm just happy to be a part of it.
All righty, we're going to take a break, and on the other side of that break have your arm wrestling challenge with the Beast.
This is week 3 of the challenge, so it's $1,500.
All right, you're tuned in to Monday Night Mayhem live from the Neon Moon Tavern on Talk Radio WRNR and TV10. We're back in 3 minutes.
Located at 4529 Shepherdstown Road in Martinsburg, the Neon Moon Tavern has delicious food and cold beverages. Stop on in Mondays for some mayhem with us and Shepherd quarterback Tyson Bagent, or on Tuesday for some gourmet tacos. Wednesdays is whiskey and trivia night, Thursday is steak night, Fridays are dinner specials, Saturdays there's live music, and Sunday morning is brunch. We're open every day from 11 a.m. to 3 a.m. Call us at 304-260-4002 for takeout or stop on in to the Neon Moon Tavern.
Ever try to collect on an insurance claim? Perhaps a homeowner's claim, auto accident, or fire. Insurance companies collect money from you for protection should something bad happen. And when it does, they don't want to pay, or they offer too little. At Mansion Ferretti, we have an attorney who worked defending insurance companies and knows all the dirty tricks they play to deny or lowball your claim. Call us today for help in getting what you really deserve. Mansion Ferretti, when you need justice.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
Advanced technology, compassionate care. That's what you get with WVU Medicine General Surgery. Our expert team of board-certified surgeons at WVU Medicine Berkeley Medical Center and Jefferson Medical Center combines state-of-the-art technology with patient-centered medical care. With 3 convenient locations, WVU Medicine General Surgery offers a variety of robotic and laparoscopic surgery options, featuring revolutionary treatments resulting in better surgical outcomes and quicker recoveries. For appointments, call 304-596-2150.
Hi, this is Lauren from Orsini's right here in Martinsburg. Grilling is not just for the boys. We are a Platinum Traeger dealer carrying the Pro Series all the way up to the Timberline Series. We have every flavor of wood pellets along with accessories, rubs, sauces. Not just Traeger, we carry Utz, Meat Church, Lanes, and Dizzy Pig. We also carry a full line of Yeti products. Orsini's has everything to complete your backyard. Visit us at 360 Hack Wilson Way or at
Orsinis.com. Let's go! Drink some beers! Mountaineer Grill and Pub!
Mountaineer Grill and Pub offers many daily specials, including Trivia Night Monday, Karaoke Tuesday, Steak Night Wednesday and Sunday, Thursday night Boneless Wing Night, and on Friday and Saturday nights, there'll be a DJ and or karaoke. And remember, Monday through Friday, happy hour, 11 a.m. to 6 p.m., $2 domestic bottles and $2.50 domestic drafts.
Let's go! Drink some beers! Mountaineer Grill and Pub!
Welcome back to the Neon Moon Tavern for some Monday Night Mayhem. I was about to say, you ready, Beast? Get the headset on, I'll let you introduce your guest and take over.
All right, are we ready?
Yeah. We're already on, man.
No problem. Sorry, guys. All right, so, guys, just a basic little setting. You know what we do here the last 15 minutes. From 6 to 8, from 6 to 8 we're on. But at 8 o'clock, we start the Arm Wrestling Challenge, and every week we have a local company that is willing to donate $500 towards the pot. That makes this week 3. That means the grand prize right now is $1,500. On the far right there, a Martinsburg graduate, former football player, and owner of James Neal Diversified Service with us today, providing the $500. To make that prize $1,500 is Brandon Hamilton. Brandon, how you doing tonight?
Doing well. Good to be here. Thank you.
All right. Well, listen, can you tell us exactly what your business entails, what kind of work you're doing, and what part of the county or counties are you actually working in?
100%. So my company is James Neal Diversified Services. I'm a general contractor, which means we do everything from groundwork to foundations to siding to roofing. But what we specialize in is roofing, siding, and insurance claims. I am great with insurance companies. I'll make sure that they don't haggle you around and you get what you're supposed to get. So very reputable company. I'm born and raised Martinsburg, West Virginia. My family ties are here. I sign contracts, but I've been here so long to where if you do business with me, your house, your deck, your roof, your siding, everything will be taken care of. Family-owned business, owned by myself, started out of a pickup truck, trailer, and hard work. So the football thing didn't go well for me. After that, started the construction company, and here we are today doing very well. Any type of roofing, siding needs you need, JNDIV services at yahoo.com or 304-616-7290, or you can actually reach out on Facebook. It's probably the easiest way for some of you younger people, older people, or anybody that are on Facebook.
And if you see me walking around, just tell me. I'll take 10% as a salesman. I'll hook you right up here with James Neal. Well, James Neal, I can tell you, I don't know exactly. I have worked on some job sites with James Neal, so I can tell you the quality is something else. But for me, this is a good friend of mine, a friend of our families, and one of the things that James did last year before the season started, he joined up and it gave Tyson the first NIL deal of his life. And I don't know if you guys remember, but there was a big billboard on Route 45 that's saying James Neal Diversified Services, a proud supporter of the future Harlan Hill champion. So one thing about him is he kind of said it, not as early as I said it, but he said it a lot earlier than most of you locals. So, Brandon, we thank you for that. Also, let's talk a little Martinsburg football, because Brandon was on what years and what teams were you on at Martinsburg High School?
So my senior year was 2003, but I played varsity for 3 years. So the Steve Roach era, the 2001, we played against Parkersburg in the state championship. I played on that team. We lost in the semis my sophomore year, and then what people call the Mud Bowl was my senior year. Nate Sowers, me, Brandon Barrett, pretty good line. Field got tore up a little bit, but that was my 3 years at Martinsburg. Going back to the Tyson thing, though, that billboard was in mind. I already knew he was going to win. So my first call was Tyson. Second call was Chauncey. We got it approved, and next thing you know, I kind of spoke it into fruition. Like, a lot of people don't know what the Harlan Hill is because so many people put emphasis on D1 football. If you play any type of college football, you're in the 7% of any high school player in the United States, the world, whatever you want to categorize. So when you win the Harlan Hill, I do not think people realize how big of an accomplishment that is.
Well, I do.
Agree. I mean,
that's great. All right,
it's going to be so nice. He's going to get it twice, right?
Let's get real here, okay? So Brandon and I have had many conversations about that subject, about who the best Martinsburg teams are.
Okay.
And right after Brandon has his third Stella, he starts talking about the teams that he played on with, what are these guys, Brandon Barrett and Nate Sowers.
All right, so listen.
Now, hold on here, young man. This is my show here. I'll let you know when it's time for you to speak.
Stand up.
The fact is that you keep talking about that squad. And I simply has told him, if you don't win the state championship at Martinsburg High School, Mud Bowl or not, and you don't go undefeated, you are automatically you are disqualified from any greatest of all time comment. Can I get an amen?
The only thing I'm going to say in this argument is you say every team each and every year is the best Martinsburg Bulldog team. So I don't know how much credibility you have in that. I'm just going to leave it at that and try to stay out of this fight, even though I'm now in the middle.
There's no fight, but do you remember the game?
No.
Okay.
I was, what, 5?
Not sure.
03? So if it's 03, I was 5, man. Sorry for making you feel old.
For all of our viewers, right, this is where I start with the greatest teams. It starts with the quarterbacks, okay?
That's not true. It should start with the state championships and the undefeated records.
He just told me
because of 2 quarterbacks right there. I mean, you got 2 quarterbacks in your family.
Time out. He just told me when it was my time to talk that I would get to talk.
I apologize.
So I look at the 2 greatest quarterbacks to play at Martinsburg High School history right now as Tyson Bagent and Nate Sowers. So if we go into an argument of anything, I start there. Nate Sowers was my quarterback. Now, if we look at that state championship game that you're saying that we did not win, we were up 20-6 on a regular field. Now, what happens when the field goes 3 foot deep in mud?
Got to run the ball.
And that's not. We were a spread offense.
We had a shaky tailback. Can you tell us who the tailback was on that team?
The tailback was a gentleman, very handsome guy. He rushed for about 1,600 yards, 21 touchdowns. I think his name was Brandon Hamilton or James Neal.
You were the tailback.
Yes.
Oh, no, I brought up a touchy subject.
But Ben Gum, great guy now, he just ate the clock up. And I will tell you, it wasn't coincidence that by the next year they had turf on that field. So the greatest Martinsburg team, greatest West Virginia team that ever came out of the state, lost because they didn't have adequate field.
Shaky tailback and some rain excluded his squad from being even in the running for the all-time greatest Martinsburg team that remains, in my opinion, to be 2007 followed closely. No, 17.
17.
Followed closely by 2019, and then we can bring Brandon Ashenfelter in here, and he can argue about those.
His
next
years.
2.
So I was gone for a while. I left after high school and went to Florida. The Ashenfelter years I didn't see as personally as I did in 2017 and 2019. But what I had said before with where I start with the quarterback, the very next thing I look at is the offensive and defensive line. Because if you got a dominant offensive and defensive line, then you have to look at the 17 and the 19 teams both had quarterbacks, good offensive line, good defensive line, and they had a plethora of receivers. The problem they would have had with us is our receivers were different. One of our receivers is still in national record books.
Well, let's be more. If we just turned the sprinklers on the night before, we're getting rid of y'all right there.
Come on, man.
Okay, let's move on.
I don't know. It's on turf now.
Let's move on to
got
NFL
4 minutes
football.
left.
We got 4 minutes. So
get your thoughts. Cowboys-Giants tonight. I know you're a Cowboys guy.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, hey, them boys is on the night. And listen, Cooper Rush is the real deal. We've already established that. Do you know what happens when really good teams have really good quarterbacks? They spend so much money on those quarterbacks that they have a second-string quarterback that is just affordable enough to hang out for multiple years. And there you go. Cooper Rush is here, baby.
I will tell you tonight, I'm not a gambler, but anybody that is who wants to take the Swami's advice, lay your money on the Giants. Either the money line, you can give up the 1 if you want, but the Giants will win by 7 to 10 points tonight. And the game will go under.
He also bet $100 he was going to beat Ben Gum and those guys in the state championship.
Yeah,
so
Ben Gum.
I cannot tell you.
Ben Gum still owes me $1,000.
All right, well, it's time, big
3
guy.
minutes.
All right, I think can we get you guys up here lined up there, big guys? You guys will be
going up
next.
against the beast tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, somebody got to beat you.
Yeah, so
That's
listen,
it?
that first $1,500, this is going to be a great show for you because you stand on up. Make sure you be careful with the thing here. You'll be the first victim tonight, and then we'll add your $500
I'm going to try to slide over so you can get a better shot of it.
Yeah, let's
get out of your way.
Sir, I like it.
Make sure you got plenty of space here for this challenge, guys.
All right, Brandon, there's one thing you can be sure of. I don't take a lot of butt whippings in life there, young man. So listen.
Cowboys are about to.
Whoa, you got a lot of nerve
this week
there.
and next week.
But listen, how upset are you now? You're a Redskin guy, right?
I'm always upset.
Carson Wentz is showed up. And
I was about to say, yeah, you got to just go with Washington now.
All right, well, I got Ryan Beach. I got Ezra Bates and Tyson. Everybody is starting to jump up here for that $1,500. All right, young man, right elbow is there. If I was you, I recommend you not trying too hard because you do have to work tomorrow. Left hand on the peg. Listen, my dad always told me, don't mess with people with tattoos. They're not right in the head, okay? But in this case, I'm going to make an exception right here. I like that. Boom. He just felt it. You'll start to see his face change a couple of shades of red here.
I didn't even hear him go, and he's already going.
You say go when you're ready, young man.
He's already trying. He's already trying before the go.
All right, now relax there. Relax there. Don't break that little twig there. Look at me, son. Just ease on down. Hey, just treat me like Ben Gum, big guy. Come on down here. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. This guy put up a fight.
He did.
Okay, let's get this next guy on up here. Can you hand that
Scale 1 to 10. How tough was that?
Can you hand that
get your reaction.
So I've felt it 1,000 times.
Got a minute left.
Scale 1 to 10. Listen, there's nobody beating him. So you can go 14.
Anybody putting up the challenge?
All right. Oh, we got one here.
Tyson's up.
All right, here we go. Tyson Bajan.
Got 45 seconds.
45 seconds. This ought to be good. Now, listen, young man, be careful here because I'm the strongest man in the world.
It's not the throwing arm, is it?
Don't ever touch me with your left hand when we're at the table. All right, here we go. Ready and go. Just kidding with you. Nice. Let's bring Ryan Beach up here and see what the young man's got.
We got 20 seconds, so while Ryan Beach comes up, just want to say make sure to tune in next week, and we hope that you enjoyed Monday Night Mayhem live from the Neon Moon Tavern.
No problem.
10
Ryan
seconds.
Beach right
Finish
here,
it
young
up.
man. Hey,
finish it up.
You messing with a heavyweight, young man. Here we go. Ready and go. Just stay right there. Just relax. Just stay right there. Relax there. Relax. He's got a knot.
He didn't finish on air.
Out yet?
He didn't. Yeah, we're already off.
We're out.